Hi, Leathur Rokk here. I am in the only peace and quiet I can find around here, my garden. And this was not going to be a garden video. Truthfully, I didn't know what the subject was going to be until I got all dressed and stuff. And if any of you have gardens, you know that when you have a garden every day, you have to do something. Unless, of course, it's really crappy weather out, like thunderstorms. And we've been having kind of dry. It's been except Tuesday night it's supposed to thunderstorm. So I wanted to show you guys something. Now, I'm not going to waste your time making you watch me water, because that would be boring as all get out. But check this out. I found a stake for this tomato plant here. And actually, you want to know what the stake is? It's actually a rod from my bed that is slowly but surely breaking. I sleep on a futon, and the metal things have been snapping one after another, and they're not the kind that you screw on. They need to be soldered, and that's probably not going to happen anytime soon. So, oh, check this out. Did you guys know that some bean flowers are actually lavender or purple colored? I don't know if this is going to show up, but check this out. Can you see? I hope we don't have any interruptions. I'm not in the mood for ghetto bullshit. So I thought that it was longer since my first garden video, so I don't know if you can really see any improvement here. But I have more stakes, and my mother even donated a rod to one of her shades that is actually here. Oh, and here I'm going to show something kind of ironic that I honestly did not premeditate this, but as I'm filming it is Monday afternoon, and you know we're going to find out who our new Supreme Court Justice nominee is going to be. And like a lot of women, I'm really nervous about them losing Roe versus Wade, and I want you to see one of my bean supports. Can you see this? It is a coat hanger. I hope you could see this. I really cannot see through my computer here, and so I don't see. Do you see that? That is a wire coat hanger, and what I did was I snapped it in half because I really needed things for my bean plants. I have wax beans, and I have two different kinds of green beans growing, and one of the things I'm concerned about is they grow onto the wooden walkway here where anybody could step on them, and obviously I don't want that. So that's another advantage to staking things up. And this time I remembered to bring the hammer so that I could get them in the ground good. But we'll walk around. Here's my tallest tomato plant here. Isn't that nice? And a real nice guy and his father, who actually run this community garden plot, they staked it up for me. That was really nice of them. And here, I don't know if this is a green bean or a wax bean, but can you see that it has purple flowers? They're like lavender flowers, lavender and yellow. And this is the first one I staked up. I found the branch on the ground several months ago, and I found it before I even got the garden plot, and it was too small to use as a walking stick, but I found it kind of intriguing, and I took it. Now I'm glad I have it. You can see almost all my tomato plants, except for the youngest ones, have flowers on them. And see flowers on most of the beans, except for the baby. And this is a baby, and next to that's baby kale, and this is kale here. And you see the basil. Basil can tolerate full sun, and it can also tolerate some shade. And this is collard greens, I'm pretty sure this is. And see leaf lettuce, and look how the squash is doing. I'm quite happy with that. Now, I actually want to talk to you guys about things that have nothing to do with the garden, and I'm gonna try to get comfortable here. My life this summer now has been changed since that asshole stole from me, and it's really pissed me off because I mean, I know the world doesn't owe me a living or anything, but I mean, I don't believe that bullshit about, oh, God closes the door, he opens a window. I'm not saying that there have never been blessings in disguise in my life. Like, breaking my hand when that happened, that was cool, because that's when I started writing a whole bunch of songs. That's when I had the breakthrough that all those years of poetry, that was really songs. I got a compulsion not only to work with old poetry, but work with new stuff. It started a real unleashing of great creativity. And of course, when you lose use of your dominant hand for a while, you have no choice but to become proficient left-handed with things. And that's a skill that I kind of carried over to the present day, and that's really cool. So for something that happened 3 years ago that was pretty shitty, I was able to get some good lemonade out of that. But with this thing, I mean, it's caused me to prioritize, the most important things, and I just hate having to be stuck with options of sticking close to home and dealing with the idiots around here. I went to the 4th of July fireworks in front of the Tropicana, and I did wear my Trump shirt, and nobody fucked with me. There was one lady who I think was really trying to get my attention at the beer garden, and she was kind of disapproving. I could tell by her attitude, but it's not easy to get in there or get out of there because they got a doorman and stuff, so she couldn't. And she was seated at a table, so I can't imagine her dropping what she was doing just to confront me or something. And I was on my way either toward the fireworks. Yeah, I was toward the fireworks. It was just before they started, so that was the only closest thing I got to any attitude. If I got any side eye, I wasn't aware of it. And it's a shame I should have to be concerned, or that anybody should be concerned about expressing themselves politically. I mean, never in my life, even when George W. Bush had won the presidency, and I was walking around New York City the following summer, then I got kind of a chilly vibe from some people, depending on the neighborhood I was in, okay, but I never felt any kind of felt like there was a chance that I could be a victim of violence. But now with the political climate now, I think it is just absolutely ridiculous. And so every time I go out, especially if it's like a patriotic event or something where I want to be my most expressive, I have to kind of second guess myself for a while. And I really resent that as an American citizen who has never known that kind of fear and intimidation, and who's never been felt that it was unsafe for me to voice my opinions. That's kind of concerning, because so far I've been lucky, but I'm seeing it's happening in small town Americas. I'm seeing it happen to people in bigger cities, that people are being targeted, and perfect strangers are being accosted by people who obviously have no right to do it and think they can get away with it, and that really sucks. But that's not really even what I was going to talk to you about today. So, but if I try to film in my house, I have to worry about, there's been a lot of noisy gang activity lately, and when it gets so bad that I cannot get them to move on, and they're carrying on a conversation literally feet from my bedroom window at night, when normally the quietest time and the only time that I really do most of my filming. And then they threaten me when I try to get them to leave, and then I call 911, which, you see, this is something none of you guys know about. The reason why my last video got broken into 2 parts, because I was dealing with a disturbance outside, and they wouldn't go, and I finally called the cops. And usually when I call the cops, I never call 911. I call the non-emergency number, usually for nuisance things, that drive you crazy and stuff, or things that you have every right to do. And I know on weekends and holiday nights you can't expect it to be totally quiet, because this is a resort town and it's kind of 24 hours. But still. And then I never expected the day where the cops would call back around 4 o'clock in the morning, wake up family members, and then have my video interrupted. That is so totally uncool, so uncalled for, and I am not going to subject myself to that. And used to be you could film on the beach and the boardwalk, but now that they have these kiosks with advertising and jingles at different stores and snippets of music, and it's really, really loud. And so there would be no way, depending on what it is, it would be very easy to get a copyright strike. And it's very distracting, and it's very unnerving. And of course, if you go down on the beach, there's a chance, since the sand dunes prevent people from the boardwalk seeing you, there's a chance you could be jumped by a gang or something. As if you've been watching my videos, you know that there is that risk when you're filming by yourself. I don't have a crew with me. And the people who have voiced concern and said that they would like to kind of be my eyes and ears, they tend to be hardworking people who would never be there when I needed them anyway. and plus some of them like to drink the alcohol, and that, I'm sorry, alcohol clouds your judgment, and I'd rather not have people around me with clouded judgment. They're just getting wasted all the time because they can't look after me, and there's a chance that they could even help us get into trouble, and who needs that? I want you guys to know something. When I have a notebook of ideas, and I have all kinds of ideas for content, but I didn't even write out show notes for this ahead of time. I know that some of you subscribe to me and watch my stuff because you like my makeup tutorials and you like the fashion stuff and the skincare stuff, but then there's people who like my story times, and they like to hear about the things that happen in the clubs, and they like to hear stuff about what it can happen to people running around my town and other towns, and some people like my political content, and so that means that I'm not a niche content creator. And from what I'm learning by the people who I learn from, the people who put out live streams to teach us YouTubers how to be more engaging, how to tell better stories, how to make our content more interesting and searchable by the people looking for what we produce. And so many of them say that if you don't get a niche, if you don't identify your quote-unquote target audience, then it's hard for you to grow and it's hard for you to maintain subscribers, because if you produce varied content and say it gets pushed to your people who get, you ring the bell notification, you get your things. If it's not something that you're really interested in, you're not going to watch. So, and if not enough people watch, then it could really send signals to the algorithm that can make less of our videos get seen. And no content creator wants that. And I don't really know what my target audience is, because in some ways it's women because of all the makeup stuff, but in some ways it's men because I'm sure that you like the fashion stuff, or if you're in security and law enforcement, you know me from seeing me around the clubs and stuff, and if you play in bands, then you know me from the club scene. So there are many different kinds of people that watch me for different reasons, and it's kind of hard for me to make content targeted toward my audience when my audience is so diverse. So the best I can do is make things that I like and that are meaningful, and if I can teach and help people along the way, that is really great. Like when I hear I have certain videos that are of an instructional nature, and I continue to get really positive feedback from people that say, thank you for teaching me how to do X, Y, Z. That's one of the best things I think another person can do, is to be a teacher. And if I can be helpful to people, and if I can show you that the intelligence level and the skill set that you expect to get can come from a variety of kinds of packaging, and so don't discount that person who looks rather flamboyant. Maybe you should give them a chance, and don't discriminate against them just because their hair is colored a certain way and they have a bunch of piercings, or maybe they're wearing short skirts and garter belt and their butt's sticking out. Still give them a chance, because maybe they have more of a brain than you realize. Maybe that's what some of you are getting from my channel. I don't know. I also am thinking about the direction I want to get my channel in, and one of the things, even though I love material things, I am a material girl, and I like beautiful packaging, and I love makeup, and I like things that, when it's things that I need and it's things that I can use, but I also am kind of against the rampant consumerism that so many people can't afford, and it gets people sometimes into debt, and it becomes almost an addictive thing, shopping addictions and stuff. And especially since I took the financial hit that I did of being ripped off, I'm not all about doing a bunch of hauls. Now, I am expecting a package from a makeup company, an order that I was able to make because they made a lower minimum, and they had some things that I really, really wanted, and I got a discount, and I'm expecting that any day now. But I don't want to be making all these videos where it's all encouraging. I don't want to give people the impression that I'm buying a new palette every week and I'm buy. I mean, I haven't even been in a dollar store in over a month. This has been one of the more lean months in years for me and for my household, okay? And the way I was raised, you don't rob Peter to pay Paul. If you can't spend, you just don't spend. I am not going out spending money. I'm not doing it. I don't window shop in places if I know I don't have the money to get it. Why bother putting myself through that? I'm glad that a lot of the magazine subscriptions I have are finally starting to run out, because really, what do I need to know about the latest what's it and who's it? There are things that I need that are more important, such as, besides the whole transportation issue, which totally fucked up my summer. I mean, you don't realize, well, I guess maybe you do, when you have a budget allotted that's specifically going to get you rides to the club until Christmas, and somebody steals from you like that, that wasn't just $20. That was literally what I allotted to get me to the places that were going to mean something until Christmas time. And that person did that to me. So that I am very resentful about that, and I'm very angry about that. And at the same token, that also I think is going to impact some of my content that I'm creating, because first of all, I like to get all dressed up when I go out to clubs and stuff, and that's why it makes it so easy for me to create videos when I'm already dressed up on my way to a club or coming home from the club. I've got the outfit on, I got the makeup on. As long as I have show notes and a plan, I'm good to go, provided I don't get interrupted by cops or gang members or family members or roommates or anything like that. Or cats. Oh yeah, let's not forget cats, or the cats that are uncooperative and will not show up. Or I find out Tabby Boy doesn't like it when I slap the clapboard. That's why he jumps down. So I've been trying to do it quieter. And he really doesn't like all the fireworks and the firecrackers that have been going off. Even after the 4th of July, they've been setting off firecrackers around here, and he really doesn't like it. So, alright, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to talk about. I am going to be doing a video about the makeup that I'm going to be getting, but that's probably not going to be for another week. I'm going to go home and put on the news, because I think at 9 o'clock I'm going to find out about the SCOTUS. For the record, you can quote me on it. I hope Kavanaugh gets picked, because from the standpoint of somebody who is pro-choice and supports LGBT rights while still being a fiscal and national security conservative, Kavanaugh seems like the safest bet of our president's picks. But we will see, because obviously I have no say in the matter. But I hope you like the garden. Isn't it cute? Oh yeah, one more thing I wanted to show you. Oh boy, here. One thing I wanted to show you. Here. I don't want to attract attention. What I'm doing here. I don't want to attract attention. Oh. Okay. Check this out. Oh. Look who I have here. Oh, shh. Look who I have here. Look. This is Cassie. Have you seen Cassie before? Cassie belongs to one of the ladies who has a garden plot here. And Cassie, even though I don't think cats should be outside, Cassie likes to be outside during the daytime, and everybody loves her. But at nighttime, Cassie sleeps with her mommy. And Cassie's a very friendly kitty. And Cassie's kind of famous around here. Okay? So, yeah, meow. You're famous. Famous kitty. Oh, yes, you are. Okay. Well, okay. If you like well, first of all, let's hope that I don't fall. Okay. If you like my content, feel free to give this a thumbs up. If you like me and the varied products that I produce on my channel, please feel free to subscribe, and it would be really great to join my family. It's a wild, crazy family, but you might very well have a good time. And we will see how my garden grows. We will see about the makeup and the club life and my crazy life, and I'd love to have you join. And till then, talk to you soon. Bye.